It's 2023. We're living basically in the future. So shouldn't our superheroes have updated outfits to match the times? Welcome back, Nerd Squad. It's me, Amanda.
And I'm Connor, and today we're counting down the top 10 superheroes with new looks in 2023. Which superheroes do you think could use a redesign? Sure, you let us know. In at 10, Ben Reilly. Ben Reilly is a clone of Peter Parker, the famed Spider-Man, created by the villainous Jackal. Ben assumed the identity of Scarlet Spider after separating himself from Peter's world for 5 years, and upon returning to New York to aid Peter's sick Aunt May, he reunited with Peter and became his ally. Later on, though, while Peter was away, Ben encountered a man named Gus, who mistook him for Peter because, they're clones, and demanded payment for an unknown debt. Ben denied that he was in fact Peter because he was, but he also wasn't, but Gus continued to harass him. Then, sometime later, Ben, along with someone named Janine, who is now known as Hallows Eve, ended up living in limbo with this Gus man. And then, of course, because, how else are you supposed to have a hero turned villain origin story, Gus continued to harass Ben, leading to him being beat up and then being brought to the Goblin Queen. And by that I mean Ben beat up Gus and then brought Gus to the Goblin Queen. After Madeline consumed Gus's soul, Ben declared his intention to consume Peter Parker's soul. Yeah, that's a thing that has happened. But also just look at the monster that is now known as King Chasm. It's a freaking powerhouse, okay? That thing is terrifying and I want to be him so badly. Yeah, I know that also he's technically a villain and that's why he'd be at 10 on this list instead of higher, but since Ben was a hero, was a Spider-Man, I think that it's allowed. Plus, it's not like you can do anything about it now. It's already on the list. You can't reverse the edit. I'm sorry, YouTube doesn't have that feature yet.
Number 9, Power Girl. I mean, all of the Super family have recently got somewhat of a makeover with their new looks, Power Girl included. Now they all wear matching jackets. Power Girl likewise has a new look that features a full one-piece bodysuit with a new Super family matching jacket. Fits right in. She also got some new powers as well, being affected like many others by the Lazarus volcanoes that were spewing all over the planet. There's just Lazarus raining down everywhere. Power Girl was given psionic abilities during the event, which is quite different for her, going from being a physical powerhouse to a psionic rookie, honestly, to start. Personally, I'm more of a fan of Kara's classic look, but I do like the idea of the Super family all having a piece of clothing that they share, and I always love a good team jacket look, so I'm definitely here for the jacket part at least. Still, I feel like you could alternatively do this with, the S logo that they all wear or matching capes. Power Girl not only got a new look and a new power set here, but she also got a new partner in heroism as well, teaming up with Omen.
And at 8, Ben 10. Look at that, 2 Bens on this list. Or dare I say, 11 Bens. Because Ben 10 is a popular American animated TV series that originally started running in 2005. The show features the adventures of a 10-year-old boy named Ben Tennyson, yeah, that's actually his name, who discovers an alien device called the Omnitrix. The Omnitrix allows Ben to transform into various alien creatures, originally with 10, hence the name, each with its own unique set of abilities, powers, and weaknesses. And then throughout the series, Ben and his friends, Gwen and then later in a sequel series, Kevin, face off against various villains who seek to use the Omnitrix for their own purposes and just normal run-of-the-mill bad guys like a dude who is mutating animals at one point. But along the way, Ben uses these alien powers and learns how to actually work with them to help others, protect the planet, and ultimately become a hero. It also spawned multiple spin-offs, movies, and video games, cementing its place as a beloved franchise. And personally, I love Ben 10, and I have a Ben 10 jacket. I can't wear it on camera because it's green, which sucks because I love the jacket. But I mean, in 2023, he has the look of his most recent series, which seems to be the 2014 Ben 10 Omniverse, which has a cartoon style I don't really vibe with, but hey, Ben 10 is still iconic. Or if you want to go a different route, you can go with the Ben 10,000 way of thinking, since Ben 10,000 just has 10,000 different aliens in his Omnitrix, but that actually takes place in 2025, which means that he would look relatively the same this year. There you go. I just wanted to talk about Ben 10, okay?
Number 7, Photon. Well, definitely an homage to her classic look, Monica Rambeau has also received her own suit makeover recently. Personally, I liked her look with the jacket before this, but this one does seem a bit more practical. real. I mean, I've worn full bodysuits with jackets over top. Let me tell you, it tends to get really hot really fast. One of my favorite things about her newest look as seen in her new 2023 series is actually her hair. I love how it is adorned. It makes it look like Monica has like little stars in her hair. It's so pretty, it's so cool. As happy as I am to see this new marvelous look, I'm also even more happy to see Monica as the star of her own series. She is a character who I've been saying for a while I would love to see in her own solo book. Of course, I've been saying that, and then of course the same year that I decided to take a year off from collecting printed Marvel and DC superhero comics, she gets her own series. That timing. Still, I'm very happy to see it, and I hope that you are all collecting it out there.
And at 6, Green Arrow. Okay, now this is a bit of a weird one, I will admit, but within the context of the Arrowverse, the Green Arrow does have a new look in 2023, okay? The new look is alive. Kind of, technically speaking. Okay, during the 9th episode of The Flash Season 9, Stephen Amell made a return as Oliver Queen. However, this time around, he was still the Spectre. So the Green Arrow is a totally different hero, but also he's technically a god as well, but like with a couple limitations. So like diet god, if you will. Oliver isn't really dead, they kind of retcon that. He's rather just existing outside of time and space, but he's only capable of interacting with the physical world when the multiverse is in danger, which is kind of interesting as well, since Legends of Tomorrow had an episode where the Legends stumbled upon a location that was being used to film Supernatural, and in the Supernatural episode, The French Mistake, we see Sam and Dean being sent to a reality where Supernatural is a show. So that could have been the same Earth, okay? Since the multiverse is a thing for them too, okay? Do you see where I'm going with this? That would subsequently mean that Chuck wiping out all the Earths in Supernatural was their interpretation of Crisis, and that Oliver rebooting the multiverse gave them their multiverse back as well, as we see in the spin-off series The Winchesters, okay? Where the big bad of the first season was threatening the multiverse. So, where the hell was Oliver during that, when those Earths were in danger, okay? Come on. Or were the Akrita from that show just Ramsey's infected cells? Something to chew on. But yeah, I wanted to talk about it. I haven't been here in a while, okay? I wanted to talk about Arrow and the Flash. I'm sorry. There's a lot of green that I can't talk about because of, well,
Number 5, Storm. Oh my goodness, I am super here for Storm's new look. Although, honestly, when am I not here for a Storm look? I'm actually trying to think of a time that I didn't like what Storm was wearing, and I can't. But if you feel like Storm has had some questionable looks, let me know them down in the comments, because maybe I'll find something that I don't like Storm in. I doubt it'll happen, but it could happen. Right now though, I'm definitely a fan of her current 2023 look. It's a look that has been evolving since the dawn of X, and even though it is only one era in a long history of X-Men stories and eras, I will say, even in comparison to the beginning of the days of Krakoa, Storm looks quite different. And I mean that in the best possible way. Storm went from having a sleek, polished, modern design to what I would describe now as a more modern take on her punk era look, and yeah, I super love it. And friends, before I move on to our next spot on this list, if you love what we do here at Top 10 Nerd, be sure to show us you love us by clicking that subscribe button.
In it for The Flash. There is no doubt that The Flash has gone through many suits over the past few years, especially with the show having so many different versions for the Scarlet Speedster. However, with the show ending, the character is getting a whole new look in the upcoming Flash movie starring Ezra Miller. And while the cheap joke here would be saying that the new look is actually just the psycho behind the mask, the suits we're seeing in the trailers are pretty different to the suits that we've seen in the show that's been on for nearly a decade. The jokes made in the Crisis on Infinite Earths crossover were about the actual possible uses for the different suits, with Grant's version making the comment that Ezra's was more protective and that his seemed like safer, whereas Ezra said that Grant's was more breathable and comfortable, which are qualities that seem to be embraced and enhanced in the movie versions, with the two Ezras having qualities related to like the lightning color of their speedster. The blue lightning being more in line with the original DCEU suit, since that version had blue lightning, but the orange or yellow lightning version being closer to Grant Gustin's version, which makes me think that they might have actually wanted Grant in that role, especially given why Ezra Miller was in the news, but I feel like Grant was probably like, yeah, no.
Number 3, Daredevil. Daredevil is currently in the midst of his Red Fist saga, and to match, he has a completely completely new look. What is new about it? Well, it comes with a pretty cool hood and some ninja-esque trappings such as his face mask, which also helps him to match with the other Daredevil currently in town, Elektra. Elektra has been Daredevil as well for a while, ever since Matt had to go to prison to do some time. Which also means we have another new Daredevil look because Elektra is Dee Dee as well right now, which is also still relatively new to comic readers. And not only that, but Elektra is also now Matt's wife. But despite that bit of what you'd think would be weird and unconventional marital bliss, Matt has currently been having a rough go, as he also was forced to fight against other heroes that he normally would simply call his colleagues and his friends, such as Spider-Man, who he actually kinda backstabbed in issue number 10 of Daredevil recently when Peter offered him an olive branch. Ouch. Oh, and Matt also is sporting a pretty wild beard right now, and I gotta say, it's a bit crazy, but I'm here for it. I love how it's just like his mask and then beard.
But ultimately, in at number 2, Stature. Going from superhero daughter to superhero is one thing, and that's the story that was started in Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania. However, that's not the only change that Cassie Lang went through in 2023. Cassie was always fascinated by the quantum realm and eventually invented the quantum satellite, which led to her and her family being shrunken down into the realm and being trapped in Axia. Despite her father's reluctance, Cassie was determined to help the freedom fighters and became Stature, using her size-changing abilities to help fight against Kang's empire. But unfortunately, she and Ant-Man were eventually captured by MODOK, which was just, that was a thing that happened in the movie. Oh boy. And were then interrogated by Kang, who threatened to harm Cassie unless Ant-Man actually retrieved the multiversal engine core, and it's a whole weird thing, okay? But Cassie's bravery and determination helped everyone in the movie. But despite her activism, the character was actually entirely recast post-Endgame by Marvel Studios, which caused actually a bit of turmoil online, since the original actress who played Cassie in Endgame was not informed about the decision. Now, don't get me wrong, okay? Love Catherine Newton, but given how the character had already appeared, it would make sense for the original actor to figure that they'd show up as them in the future. So yeah, you should probably inform them, since you've already kind of made that connection with them, but you didn't. So there you go.
Number 1, Superman. In truth, I was trying to keep this list not just super family members for my DC points, but the reality is that they probably have had some of the most dramatic makeovers in 2023 so far in regards to DC Comics. I could talk about some of the Titans redesigns, but even then, those outfits pretty much have all throwback elements. I mean, Donna Troy is almost one for one busting out one of her old costumes, although I do love those modernized takes on some of their older looks. When it comes to Jon Kent though, who is also Superman currently in the comics, formerly known as Superboy, like Kara's Power Girl, he recently received a different look and some changes to his powers. Although he didn't get a full-on new power set, he did get a more blue Superman-esque look when he gained the ability to supercharge, even overcharge, his solar energy stores, making him even more powerful than he was before. Not that he really needed that upgrade, goodness knows. However, there is a cost to using his newfound power stores. Doing so leaves him completely drained, making him basically human for a short while he charges back up. Also, Connor told me that Jon Kent was another character who was also recently recast in Superman and Lois. So he also has a completely new look on the CW side, as well as Michael Bishop takes over for Jordan Elsas, who left after season 2. So there you go, everyone's getting recast.
That's it, we're done. We'll see you in the next one.
Bye, stay nerdy.